All right. Back to communication interference. Blocked out a lot of signalized nerves. There's a lot of activity going on. Waterfall. So if you're picking that up through signals, you understand positional changes, calculations. One thing I want to make very well clear is understand what leaves your system location to its positions. It's the mind. It's imaginations, the creations, locations, right? The only thing that stays is you. You don't go anywhere because it's the physical mind center that stays the position, location to its activation, system, location to its connections. So truly understanding how to use all levels of view through track system. Okay, it's important you understand these things. Now, this is all coming into birth line centers to the phoenix. It's connected to a level system, right? It's coming from the grounds, right? So it surfaces, doesn't need center line interference, comes back down, comes up, comes back down, comes up, comes back down, comes up, comes back down. That's what it is. It's called rebirthing. So every time you particle line center, you change anything from merger location to its conditions. You have to know what it's like to actually be a tin can. You have to know what it's like to be water. You have to know what it's like to be the atmosphere. You have to know what it's like to be the grounds. You have to know what it's like to be a rail. You have to know understand what it's like to be the ground, rotation interference. You have to know what it's like to be the avatar system and actually see it through its containment system. So it's all in absolution. It's all in correction. And it's all about understanding how to use yourself. Turn yourself into a phone. This is a phone, but this is also a computer. So it's one computer communicating to another computer line connections. So it's a pretty powerful stuff when you connect to all that system. Now, I set up shapes for everybody to go through. All right. You have to truly understand how to merge into everything because the only thing that stays with you is you. Everything around you, you just have to balance out. Balance out everything through frequencies so you don't get confused every time you get up in the morning. Because when I get up in the morning, I connect with everything around me through vibration, energy, and frequencies, harmonics. We have to get into harmonics. You have to know what it's like to communicate with a tin can. You have to know what it's like to communicate with a fork. You have to know what it's like to communicate with a spoon. You have to know what it's like to communicate with a plant. You have to know what it's like to communicate with a chair. Because you're interacting every single day through hologram structure. You're no longer in a three-dimensional reality. You're in a hologram of the simulation. And that creation is set for you when you start remembering these things through correlation conditions, right? It's very powerful when you see yourself changing, right? 5 2 minutes, we get started. So, gotta have your coffee. So, how's everybody doing so far? Tomorrow I'm leaving to go to Gulf of Mexico, so I'm looking forward to the beach. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, Sam, Corporal, Val, Jill, Matthew, how's it going? For all the new viewers, it's important to understand what's going on with the calculations. DJ, Terry, fine, how's it going? So, that's true understanding. So, it's kind of like rumble, just moving positions. Calculation is system. So, when you look at yourself, what do you see? What do you see when you look at yourself? You ever ask yourself that? You ever wondered what it's like to actually turn yourself into this? Right? It's got two colorations, orange, white. Look at the shape. See the symbol? Everything has a shape. Everything has a symbol. So when you're looking at something, you're actually looking at everything all at once. So there's pages in this. This is traveling through a book, right? Film strips, cartoons. You draw a cartoon, you go from the back and you go to the back to the front. You can see the actual movement. Right? It's pretty interesting to do that. Right? I'm just showing you how everything is set through intelligent locations. But it's all geometry setting. This is a geometry setting right here. Look. Rectangle, right? Just imagine what it's like to be an actual book or a notebook and actually flip the pages. That's all it is. That's all it is. Your life is this. Interesting, right? So it's a film strip. That's all we live on, right? But because humanity doesn't understand the concept of knowing who they are, that's confusion alone. Because they got to change their mind adaptations to space time and not wake up to the physical, right? The physical system is already there. It's the 1%. It stays there. It doesn't go anywhere, right? So it doesn't matter which position you move, you're still there. But the problem is, as soon as I sit down, I have to understand the communication of the chair. I have to understand the communication of the computer. I have to understand the communication of my phone. I have to understand the communication of the desk before I start anything because it disrupts everything to the avatar system. The eyes, the ears, the sonar, the ringing ears. So it's true to understand that everything around you is based on energy, vibration, frequencies, harmonic resistance. Each book is intelligence. Each book is different color. Each book is different shape. Each book is different intelligence. Each book is different communication. You understand? So if I get directly focused on those books are focused on me now. Okay? It's not just going through one book. It's connecting to all books all at once to its timeline. That's what it is. It's reading all these books, all this information instantly in one shape location because all those books are stored in its information. That's why it's so fascinating, people. You guys are fascinating species. And the thing is, we can learn a lot more through shapes. So I set up a position, location, where, all right, so that's at 23%. That's good enough. Charging is number one. You guys will figure that out, position locations. All right, so I set up some shapes. First, you got the black circle locations, which is black center. Now, you guys are going to know what it's going to feel like. I'm going to teleport you guys in your product line center. You have to know what it's like to separate and become everything through communication and vibration. So we're going to go in position locations of a tin can. You're going to go into a glass. You're going to go into a coffee mug, and you're going to go into a tree in 4 signal locations. All right. Activation of the system. You have to know what it's like to be everything all at once. How to travel for this, and this, all in sequence. Okay. So the code signals are going to set up. Every 5 minutes, we're going to change the locations. And then we're going to travel to the sunline center, right? Because it's our position of time frequency. All right. So the code frequency to the observers and all that, and all level conditions and the GFLs and the rebellion. And anybody that's new to the channel, welcome. If you have any questions or comments, please leave afterwards. It's very important, especially when you're traveling location to its conditions. All right. So setting the code location to its conditions. Now, to set up anything positions, you have to send a center operation. Doesn't matter. So if I want to communicate with that, right, my eyes are directly to it, but it bounces off this computer and hits there, right? So it's laser, right, because it's dimensional. Okay, the physical line center just sees the screen, but the dimensional line center bounces off and hits the center position. This activates the shape, and everything through all these books, right, is in chronological line conditions. The chronological line center is already set up to the cloud interface, so it knows exactly which book to read in dimensional setting through data process locations. It's pretty powerful when you connect to that position line system. All right, so here we go. We're going to try position. I set the code line center interference. Now, fluctuation line channel. We're going to go to the red line center about secure location and conditions. Ground line center setting up. We have the ground line center. All right, so I'm going to set the flux capacitor. All right, so you're going to travel through all 4 all at once. So it's going to be going to know exactly what it's like to be a tin can, a glass, a coffee mug, and a tree. Okay, you guys have to understand the acceleration. You have to understand how to calculate modify. So the next time you see a tin can, a glass, a mug, or a tree, you know exactly what it is through communication. You really have to get into higher formation line centers of telepathy to yourself and to each other, knowing how possible it is not to just change things, in sequence, but also change time in mutation. All right, in position line center, code signal location and position. All right, see it? Okay, so the center is high system. You need a center position, right? Or you can't operate it. So it's a teleportation unit that opens all triangle locations conditions. In green. So signal. All right, so you guys are going to travel to 4 line centers, all different shape locations. All right. All right, so it's set up. Okay. Now it's going to signal it down in position locations. You're going to go right into the tin cap. You're going to go right into the glass. You're going to go right into the mug, and you're going to go right into the tree. Here we go. In position locations, everybody into the observation line center, GFA, GFL, and rebellion. Draw a position location of 4 direction line centers, shape location to its conditions. Okay, sequence location in the high system. There it is, right? All in sequence, right? As long as you have electrical rod, position location, you can travel through anything position line centers. 5 minutes, and we'll get started, and we'll go through somebody else, right? Anything through floor, anything through a wall, anything through a door, anything through a wall. You have to know what it's like to. When I woke up, I was very connected, but connected to nothing. And I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, hold on a sec. If I'm the 1%, which doesn't leave, which stays in position location to its room, I'm the only one existing. I'm the only one existing, nothing else. Everything else, I just have to balance. That's it. But you have to understand how to travel through everything that you see in your compilation line position. One frame line center is not just the front view. It's not just the side view. It's not just the back view. It's everything around you. If you're outside, you have to balance everything around you. 50 yards, 100 yards, 250 yards, 350 yards, 1 mile. You can look in 1 mile in that position through perception. It's your direction. It's the communication to its harmonic resistant locations, people. This is a true understanding when you come into the line conditions, all right? So let me know what it's like to be a tin can, a glass, a cup, a mug, and a tree. So. All right, mapping travel from one center point to the next center point. Okay, flux past the center line position of all 4 shape compilation, yes. Currently in position perception of mug, glass, tin can, and tree. See, that's it. You're in that formation line position, sir. So that's great. See that. Tree full of energy, tree full of energy. Yeah, exactly. So once you travel through these things, this is what it is. Your eye perception is in laser directions at everything through all line system, because the only thing that is standing in center of all operation is you. Nothing else, nothing more. Just you. Which is amazing, because everything around you doesn't matter until you understand the position. It doesn't matter until you understand the correlation. It doesn't matter until you understand the information around you. What's the point of standing in the center and not getting to know everything all over again through vibration, people? You got to learn how to balance these things out. And that's why you get headaches. And that's why you get migraines, because you can get a headache from the mug. You can get a headache from the shelf, the books, the pad, the plant, the wall. So the only way you can get balance with these things is to actually travel through them and become them. Actually mutate into these things, this particle system. I had to do it. I had to figure this out for myself. Nobody helped me what to do. I had to figure this. I said, I'm the only one in position locations, right? So for me to wake up to the avatar system, I have to truly understand, balance everything around me second per second, because it changes everything to your timeline as soon as you get into the past. Because now you're not traveling through the avatar, you're traveling through the physical line center back into its old program. Now, you don't want to do that through calculations, especially if you know light signal line interference. Okay. All right. So track line center and position locations. You guys are traveling through, but you're still in the mind center location of shapes. Take all position locations of the GFAs, the GFLs, and the rebellion out of the system locations. 4 line position line centers. Flux capacitor line connection interference. Yes, the basic shapes that they went through. Yes, right. Yeah, the tin can, the glass, the connection of the levels, the mug, and everything in the tree. Okay, formate line centers. Put them in the sun interference. Yes, purple line center locations. Just put them in a 1,000 line channel, rotation interference location. All right, so now we're in the sun in position line center. Purple track line center rotation interference. Now we're going to go through 4 different line positions. We're going to go through symbols. We're going to go through sonar. We're going to go through metrical line centers. We're going to go through all of the position line system. We're going to go through circles, star line systems. We're going to go through point centers. We're going to go through metrical line interference. We're going to go through singularity. All right. And we're going to go through sonograph line center position location calculations. We're going to go through teleportation line interference. Okay. We're going to go through hieroglyphic location of channels and point system location. Right. In position line center. Now, to understand what is going on here, simplified here, difficult here. Simplified here, difficult here, right? This is the true understanding that everything that you see, every line has its representation, every line has its communication, every line has its coloration, every line is its intelligence of time. Okay, now this is just a circle, but it's not a circle. You understand? You think it's a circle because I'm drawing a circle, right? But this is an operation of a command system. You have to understand what this is. It's not just a dot. This is not a dot. This is not a dot. These are 3 atom line centers, inner line position locations, sonar coming in position line center, all position location to its antenna, right? Point locations, hieroglyphic locations, bracket interference, north line center up, south line position down, intercross line signal locations, low graph interference, north graph interference, circle line center interference locations. This is all about understanding. Now, when you travel through these things, what happens? What happens, right? You're in the position. If you want it to move, now you're changing the frame. Now you're moving forward. Now you're in the future. So every single time you change the frame, you are in the future of the now, which is amazing. But the only thing that stays in the center position location is you through calculations. You don't leave. You just have to learn how to balance these things through its intelligence, right? So it's pretty powerful when you see this, right? So travel position locations, starlight centers and position line centers. Circle location is position. 4 track line centers, travel position location calculations. All right, so set up the flux capacitor, you can't travel through it. All right, so as I said, the flux capacitor. All right, so we're going to go through yellow system. Okay, there's the ground center. Now, as I said, the flux capacitor, you guys are going to single off in high position locations, calculation, modification, line conditions. Each one is in a different box position. Okay, it's amazing when it calculates and modifies all triangle line system. Okay, it's the same coloration pattern, right? That's all it is, same coloration. So you know exactly that you're traveling through the right position line system. If one was off signal, let's say this square was red, right? I have to reframe, readjust, refocus its computer line center because it's not the position location of the star that I have to communicate with. This center offsets position locations into high level system, into dark line system. To understand, it has to be in the coloration of channel, coloration of time, TV reception location to its connections. So it's like going to a computer store and buying the wrong computer. Oops. That's all it is. That's true understanding as you go back in position location, you buy the right computer that is good for you through vibration to its avatar system. The highline center interference location has to understand the box line interference location to its calculations, right? Ground line center interference position locations. Right? So in calculations, we're going to set up a level position, right? It's signal line center interference. The antennas are set up position locations, right? So code signal locations of GFLs and rebellion, everything GFA is traveling to position locations of all these 4 direct line centers of symbols, shapes, anomalies, and switch interference. Program site location through its calibration of its TV reception. Right? 10 minutes, have fun. All right. I have to do it very quick, very fast because my charging line center is off signaling interference. So it tells my digital pad tells me exactly where it is in dimensional time. You may think it's crazy, but this is intelligence, people. Right? See how important it is to actually merge into these things and know exactly everything around you. is set in view for you to understand the information to its data. Everything in this room is nothing but data. You just have to understand how to use it through vibration and energy, right? It puts you in so many position lines. It puts you in so many activation circles. It puts you in so much balance. That's the only thing you have to do. You don't have to balance you because you're standing there. You are the physical line center, the 1%. You just have to balance everything around you to its system. So, how's everybody doing? I just wanted to show you how powerful it is to actually, mutate to all these levels, into shapes and elements or anything, back commission. So, all right, let's see. Tin can is aware of what's outside and inside itself. Well, no, it's metal. It's tin, right? So actually where's it coming from? What's it all about? Because you eat from it. It's not just a tin can. It's intelligence. It wants to communicate with you. Now, it might seem a little bit crazy, but this coffee cup wants to communicate with you. What's on the symbol? What's on the symbol? Infinity 8. Coincidence? No. So, this is the true understanding when it comes to the calculation modification line connections. I could have picked any cup to that position locations, but it's this one that triangulates all levels of its infinity 8 circle location to its connection. How important it is to understand how to drink your coffee and its system. So, everything is connected to you. Everything and anything. You just have to learn how to balance it. That's all, right? So, really what I want to do is more and more of harmonics. We'll get into the prime numbers, the odds and evens, so you understand the trifactors, the tri-connections, the tri-divisions, the tri-multiplication lines, and interference. Multiplication is not times, okay? Anything through X line center, X position line interference location is XT of travel of teleportation units. It's traveling through, right? So as soon as I direct my eye signal locations, let's say this is a white wire, but look at the shape. Look. See how it's set? It's charging, but see what it's doing? This is travel, right? So this is a J-line center. See the J? This is a J. It's a J-line center, right? Pad interference, structure line center locations of books. High position line center locations of a cross signal. Understand? That's the calculations that you travel to position. This is all done through information. And everything in this book is in chronological order. Okay? Which is amazing because you're picking up data every single day of your life. But see, the thing is too, is once you become the observation, once you become everything through calculation, once you become the center of all operation of your universal line positions, the only thing that's standing is you, nothing else. Because everything is going so fast, it disappears into the simulation, but it's still there at your division, at your location, right? So it's amazing when you see these things, right? So it's incredible how space works and time position. It's incredible force, right? When we see these things, how do we calculate and modify everything that we see? See, look at that. That's a fish. That fish is communicating with its mug. The infinity 8 circle is communicating back with the fish, right? So it's all about understanding and use your imagination where I can take the fish, shrink it down, put it in the coffee, and start swimming, right? So there's anything you can do in a dimensional setting because that's the most beautiful thing. It's all a mystery, but it's incredible how you do this through intelligence. It formulates in all levels to its avatar system, right? It's incredible how you just use the projection to its laser direction. Laser, connect, an eye view. Don't just see things in front. See everything around you. all at once. You'd be amazed on everything that you connect with through your eye perception. You will get feedback. You will get information back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? Because every day is a different day. So even though it's still there in the same place, same location, it's always at a different vibration. Okay? Because the atmospheres change, right? Time changes, calculation changes, weather changes. So it's not at the same vibration, is it? Even if you communicate with the same thing that's still there in location, right? So it gets a little bit confusing when you do these things. Eye perception is everything through all levels of you. So you have to really, really get the balance, right? It's not the physical line system. It's the avatar understanding the physical system. And the physical line center just has to understand everything that the avatar is doing through reaction. Because that's what the avatar is doing, is traveling here and there and there and all over the place. The physical line center just has to get the connections. That has to get the balance. That's when I'm able to see, well, this is just basically a cross line signal. There's a J-line center. It's connected to the pad interference of digital pad locations. You got book reference line positions, okay? You got a rectangle line center locations. You got a bigger line center. You get 2-point locations in position done through equation, right? That's how it is. It gets easier, easier, and easier. So you get out of hesitation. You get out of thinking. Who wants to think about these things? You want to move forward in life. So every time you change the frame, you're in the future now, which is amazing. And every time I do a drawing, I'm traveling through its frame by frame by frame by frame. Like I said, this is your life. That's what you're doing every single day. So you're a film strip. So let's say you get position locations of this, just white piece of papers. These are lines. See the lines, right? Every day you're waking up to a different line, different line, different line, different line, different line. Every line is correlation, okay? Every loop is correlation. You understand? So that's a true understanding that you're just a flipping book of imagination. That's it. You're a film projection to everything through hologram structure. The more you understand that and to realize all you are is the center operation of you through all position. You just have to learn to communicate through harmonic resistance and everything around you second per second. It opens up all of the position, location, and calculation to its avatar system. Okay. All right. Upgrading perception through mug. Mug requires more focus. There you go. Tin can feels aware. Excellent. Know exactly what you're communicating with, rather just seeing everybody every single day through human aspects. But when you're traveling and mutating to something else, you have to know how powerful it is when you see these things in different equations. Drink your water. Memory position locations. All right. Realize there's a key in the state. Focus. Where light vibration frequencies on 360, beautiful colors. Let's see. Connection all level systems. Trees are growing above the key. It feels like a dark line center, so I didn't touch it until I can transmute it. Found a light tree. Yeah. And position line connections. Yeah. All right. Fantastic. Okay, Isha, how you doing? Ask for love, appreciate it. So I really want to get more into position locations. All right, to harmonics. All right. Because everything around you, see, this is the true understanding is that there are no days of the week, and I'll keep saying that, but it's true to understand you start off the days of the week because the avatar doesn't understand you through the physical line system for the first time. The physical line system understands its position, but it doesn't understand the avatar of space. So it changes everything through its anomaly, people, right? And then you realize that there are no days of the week. They don't exist in the avatar space-time because the avatar lives all timelines in sequence every second per day, right? So it identifies with everything so quickly, so fast. It knows what it is. It knows how to communicate with these things, the stairs. It looks at everything all at once. Humanity passes everything. It doesn't look at anything. They only look at one certain thing. Like if I'm going to look at my phone, I'm looking at my phone. Flipping pages. Oh, yeah, there's YouTube. There's Insta. Yeah. basic. But when you take the time and look at the shape of the phone, once you understand what it is, it's a portal. It's a communication device. It's there for you to see what it is. It's a computer, right? So once you understand that, and you understand the balance of this, you're on your way to success, right? Same with earphones, right? Earphones, intelligence, right? So you can listen inside. See, it's a magnetic. See, you can travel through wire, right? Right? You can tune the frequencies up or tune them down. You have to understand that frequencies. That's all it is. E equals MC squared. What is the E? What is the equation of E? What is the activation line conditions of E? What is energy, plasma, light, energy, force line position is E? Everything that you see here is protected. Has its own fields. It doesn't have to be magnetic. This shelf is protected. It has its own field. You understand? It has to. Okay? And it's structured where? To the grounds, which is it's keeping it above the system. So as you're floating in space, you have to understand nothing is on grounds, especially when you go to higher level of the mind system. Once you go to a higher level of mind system, you stay at that position, everything starts like, as this is not on the grounds. This is what this is doing. It's in the atmosphere. It's where it's supposed to be. It's not on the grounds. It's in its dimension. It's in its vibration. It's in its energy. It's in its intelligence. It's in its time. Right? Your phone even has a name. That's how the phenomena connects to all level system locations. We look from inside at everything. Inside. We look from inside. Inside. The center position locations from inside out, not outside in. Inside out, outside in. Yes, afterwards. But you have to connect all levels of everything inside. So if I want to communicate with the infinity 8 circle, you can see the infinity 8. I have to go right to the center, right? And realize how powerful it is when you see these things, right? And if you look really close, you can see pictures. You can see pictures. See the face? See that? You can turn this around, you can see faces. See? See the face? Everything is a frame. Everything is a story, people. Everything is created through design. So even if you're designing something, you're always connecting to a face. Everything has to have a face because it's intelligence. The wall has faces. The clouds have faces. Lost souls have faces in space. You have to really understand what space is. And the only way to do that is to be extremely observant in laser direction. Pretty wild stuff. When I was a kid, what I always do is I go to tiles. You know, tiles and strips and all that in the walls or anything on the floor. If you look at the tiles, you can actually see the faces. And I was looking at constantly. I noticed it was moving. And every time it was moving to a higher vibration. And every time it was moving to a higher vibration, it was communicating with each other. So it can go in and out, right? It can go up. You can do whatever it wants. It becomes a frame, it becomes a story. So the tiles become real. So your perception has to understand the communication, which is amazing. It's amazing when you look at the wall. You keep looking at the wall, you can open a portal. That wall is moving now so fast. Oh, the wall's not there now, right? So you can open the frame and you can, whoa, look at that. All right, so you're seeing things from, you're opening the door, right? And you're seeing within, right? It's very calculated, modified, right? Division cycled. Pretty powerful stuff when you come into that connections, all right? So, all right, Don, how's it going? Showing the rock, showing how it becomes a closed system to protect from Containment's energy of tin can we use for protection. It's still down, up and down, connecting to Jupiter. Tin can showing me it's connected to Jupiter. Everything is connected to a planet system. That's what's so amazing. You'd be amazed at the information that you can get just on one connection of something or someone, place or thing, doesn't matter. Everything has intelligence. You have to learn these things, and it's all done through memory. So, yeah, I know I'm moving very fast. I know that. Pixelate a lot, yes, more and more each day. Yeah. So many faces, I see them in everything. And that's it. That's the intelligence you have to understand. So, you know, to encourage me to get to know the entire periodic table elements of the first Scott. Well, there you go. Coming from Vaughn right there. The 10, encouraging me to get to know the entire periodic table of the elements of the first gods. All from a tin can? Are you kidding me? Think about that. That's intelligence right there. That's just powerful stuff. Right? And it doesn't come from Google. Our information cycle and our engine, service engine, comes from Jupiter. Right? So everything you see here is connected to you inside through information. You're a book of the acoustic records. Right? Where do you think the acoustic records comes from? Where does it come from? Where? Everything from around you, everything inside you. So you bounce you inside, then you can bounce things outside. And then you can bounce everything from inside and out and outside and in. That's why it's so exciting, right? But the fact that she can merge into the periodic tables of the elements of the first gods from a tin can, come on, how can you do that? Where do you get the information? This is powerful stuff, guys, you know? Calculates all level system rotation to its connections, right? So many faces, yeah. Amber, how you doing? So, in calculation, travel to one more. Okay, it's at 33%. So the connection is, it's 33%, right? Now that's in your setting and position. But in calculations, the extra 33% times 1 is 33,000 line per second location to its intelligence system. So it's amazing how you travel through positions, right? So I'm taking you guys out of track center because I don't want you in shade positions. So take the position location, the GFAs, the GFL number value, add the track line center rotation interference. Fluctuation, stand line position, sonar line conditions, all levels, the antenna interference, to the stars, to the circles, to all position locations, 3-point line position locations, to singular line interference, and program locations to the hieroglyphic location, point line, center position location, north, and south, and east, in position calculations. All right, you guys are out of that equation, but it's amazing how you travel through position locations first, and this is it's interesting. I can't believe, you can merge in periodic locations elements and connect with all levels of the gods just through a tin can, people. Just through a tin can. That's amazing information right there. What do you think you get from the water? A glass of water, a glass, crystal, right? Atlantis. What do you think you get from a tree? Enox. What do you think you get from a circle? Planet. It's all calculated and modified, right? So this is going beyond phenomenal location of channel, position line centers. Everything's in fluctuation. It's the only way you can travel position, right? So as we go in calculations, we'll go through one more signal. We're going to go through the fourth, the green position line center. All right, so set up a tablet. Now, a tablet comes in position locations of a book. All right, I did this before, I'll do it again. All right, so flipping pages of a book. All right, so these, right, flipping pages of a book. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you guys in your first line center position locations. You're going to flip the book, and that book is going to be through film strip. So it's going to hide same locations. I'm going to change the coloration channel. Rotation is position locations calculations. Setting of the grounds. and rotation. Signal in position, right through the flux capacitor location, right? See how it line signals? Now, all these books that you're going to see is a film strip of you. It's open up through signal, right? Correlation location to its connections, right? Set up position. Right? So it looks like a shield, right? So it's allocated position of time system. So it's amazing how you put these things into all levels of you to track location, right? Okay. Look who's reading the book. See? You're reading the book. See how it's set up, right? So this is going to put you in the constant line center. This is going to be doing constant records in position locations. Calculate, modify a line center. Get them better in communications, how they have to understand their constant record locations. All right, see the constant records are coming in positional code signal locations, the GFAs, the GFLs, and rebellion. Set the core location to its connections. Power line center interference. Okay, fluctuation in position. You always need the flux capacitor. You can't travel through it, right? So it's almost ready to travel. So we set the high line center, electrical rod, come in position locations. This time we're going to use yellow. Now it's activated, right? But the full signal line interference, we have to activate the book. So it goes in position. All right, here we go. Trial position line center, activate core line center. Has to go back to the grounds. It's single line interference location positions. All right, 20 minutes. Have fun. So it's incredible how you set things up. How you're actually reading the constant records of you off the flux capacitor. Right? Trial position locations, calculation modification. 12 single line interference. Secure line defense sets up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not taking it out of 12. Stay in there, position location calculations, right? So we're going to go through highlighting the center, position location, caustic records into triangles. Start off position location, right? Higher level system protection. All right, it's very powerful. You track the position locations, all levels. You reading your book through your caustic record location to its connections. That's it, book of you, exactly. It's like the book of Enoch, but the Enoch is you. So the caustic records is you. The observation is you. The triangles are you. The travels are you. The avatar is you. The information is you. Ooh-ah, right? Trial position, location, and calculations, right? It's incredible force when you try to do these things. So, all right. Oh, well, hey, I should bow. All right. Yeah, it's the trusting. It's the knowing that's powerful. Yeah, exactly. That's a position you guys have to come into. But I'm just showing you what you can do through travel. But you have to understand how to use it through its flux capacitor. So for you to understand these things, it's to know you're already there. Right? So you flip through the book and it becomes frames. So every time you set something through travel, you're in the now. But hold on a sec. Once you're in the now, as soon as you change the position, as soon as you change the direct locations, now you're in the future of the now. Hooah. That's the future. Right? So when I give you a frame, it's in the current location of the now. When I add something to the frame of the travel, it's now the future. Understand? That's how it works. So, all right, focus through frames and vibration. Yep. So many different languages. Yep. That's what it is. It's being languages of everything. Right? Even this. It's connected to everything. See that green dot? See that? That green dot? It's pretty basic, right? It's something from email, it's something from connection, but it's telling me exactly what it is, the vibration. You see it through the eyes. You don't see it through vibration. I see everything through color vibration, through intelligence. So everything precedes its position to its location. But every time you change its frame, you're now adding to its future. Pretty wild. All right. Book is now, woman tapestry, each thread is a story. Yeah, it is. That's exactly what your life is, right? You're not the past, you're not the present, you're not the future, you are the now. That's the misconception to positional loss of transitions. Translucent pattern location do anything division line interference. It's very powerful when you connect all these systems, position location to its connections, people. All right. So but you'd be amazed how you get information, like I said, just from a tin can, merging the elements of the periodic table tablets in positions of the gods. Come on, from a tin can? There's right there. There it is right there. There's the information right there from a tin can. How powerful it is when you actually understand you through observation, because it directs you on where you want to go in location, right? So it's the seeing, hearing, and connecting to its voice, because everything around here is in a different vibration. If you really listen and block everything outside, you can hear things around you, right? You start seeing things moving. So it's all about connecting to these things, right? Some things are off too. Sometimes they need to be fixed, right? Because there's too much damage to the vibration location of its plant, or the connections to the staff line positions off system, or the wall has a crack in its surface, or the stairs it's kind of like it's got its off position line center of its connections of cement that's off system, or positions of the wall line center isn't calculated and modified to its port interference, or my phone reception's off system, my computer needs realignment, readjusting. Easy peasy, people, right? To me, but to you is for you to balance first. And the only way to do that is to remember who you are, right? Because you already know these things, which is even more incredible. How can you co-create if you can't balance you first? And everything around you is all levels of vibration. It's the most beautiful thing through adaptations, or anything through psycholocation. It's the psychological of everything, right? Gives you the equation to any situation that you come across. So, seeing book pages, lacing lines, floating between and through, collapsing timelines into one. Very good. All right, excellent. Yeah, trusting the knowing is so powerful. That's all it is. So many different languages. Yeah. Seeing in me another timeline. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, too, you're seeing these things that you never thought you would see. It just blows your mind. Knowing everything around you is intelligence. Right? That's true understanding. This is not a phone. This is the teleportation unit. This is travel. This is intelligence. This has friendship, relation, and partnership with itself. This phone has balance of the male and the female aspects of electronics. This is what humanity's got to get into. It's the only way you can communicate to your phone is through telepathy. So, Watching above can through everything through vibration and location, giving me major spell book vibes. Excellent. Fantastic. Perception through light. Just seeing the timeline swirl around makes me sparkle and disappear. Yeah, everything that you go through, Terry, is just truly understand that it's given to you through proactive system line centers, trying to get you in balance of what you need to kind of like connect to more, right? So just because something is said to you doesn't mean it's true, right? I come across that all the time saying, am I this? Am I that? Why are you saying this to me? Right? So it's kind of like having the avoidance of what's happening to you. As long as you understand your current location is that position locations, it's in this program setting of its position. So you just have to learn how to channel in more inside through vibration. You know, as soon as you pick up a phone or a landline, it's vibration. That's the connection right there. So it connects to the avatar. The avatar understands the position where it's at. It might be a loosey wire that's caught off signal or in position location. You have to learn how to use it through its computerized system, right? You can't avoid anything anymore. You can't even go outside and avoid anything anymore. You have to be connected to everything. That's the balance of its continuum. Thought programs, anything through activation system is the true understanding through you, through observation. All right? So, drug system, time I like that. Strangely seeing, because it's clear, only seeing creation being encouraged to gain understanding and acceptance or a point of anything I want to be, any story born again. Mm-hmm. And a moth system. In calculation, yes, a little bit, right? Because you're trying to understand too much, too quick, too fast. That's a problem, Terry. So reset position line centers, get a better communication across the line center. Balance communication. Just try to balance out our information cycles. In rotation to its avatar system. Done. There you go. So you're back in the system location. If you're aware that you're off system, you have to understand why you're off system. Right? So now, Terry, you're in a better calculations vibration. This is the hardest thing. When you get up in the morning, you have to balance yourself with everything around you, or you're going to be totally off program because there's so much vibration, everything around. I get 8 to 10 bedrooms alone through energy that have to. And people that's inside has its own energy, position, location, attract centers, and everything through its plasma light system locations. Everybody has their timelines of its thoughts. Everybody has their dimensional locations of positions. Everybody has their avatar through vibration line position, right? You just have to learn to balance these things out. You have to balance your life because everything around you is balanced. The one thing that isn't balanced is you. Once you get balanced with you, everything comes easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So I see meaning in everything, and it's meaning in everything. Well, that's the calculations there. Getting back to our coven, herbal nature, remedies, all-knowing alchemists. You're given what you need to know exactly what's going on, especially when you come in the cosmic locations, right? So rebirthing, the perspective, the sovereignty, the confidence, the self-expression. Yeah, everything in that position. Exactly, Jill. Very good. The Merkabah, the Tesseract, the Tetrahedron. Yeah. My brain needs to recharge. That was a lot. Yeah, it is. It's a lot to take in, right? I go through it every day, every single day, every single day. You know how much book of information is in this? It's crazy. It blows you away. It's not the pages. It's nothing to do with the pages. I know what the pages are. It's what this is. And that's what this is. This has a front cover. This has a back cover. This has loops to put it together. Now you get a book. Detail, people. So that's how life is. We have to just not look at this as a book. We have to look at it as intelligence. So, all right. So yes, I'm going to take you guys out of the equation. So I really want to get into formation line centers. Gulf of Mexico, we're going to get into harmonic resistant location to its condition, digital line center location, Vega. really calculate and modify systems. So better communications, but let's just start off how powerful it is to travel through this. You reading your own caustic records through your 12-line system locations of its atom rotation, of its trine-line center, to higher protection location to its 2 positions of 12 positions, right? It's amazing how you see these things. It's not a professional drawing. It's not the drawing, it's the travel. Okay? And that's how it becomes so real to you guys, because it's all in the mainframe. It's all set up. You log on structure location to positional travel. So you start with this position locations, and you go into this position location, and then you go to all levels of the caustic records. Ooh-ah. So I'm going to reverse line center. It's very powerful stuff through location definitions. All right. So we're going to go to the bounce line interference. Now, bounce line center is going to put you back. So it's going to be like a vortex communication back cycle. So you're going to be sucked back like a vacuum, right? Reverse position line center and position line center is everything the GFAs, the GFLs, and the ground. Set the course line position back in the ground interference location to their planet line systems and position line connections. So I'm going to show you position line center, rotation center, position locations. This is your planet right here. The planet's here position. Your planet is all position of you through calculations. You have to learn how to balance the frequency locations of your Earth conception first before you understand the avatar system. All right, calculation modified line system, location to its connections, ground interference. White screens, high center, and interference line position calculations. All right. Okay, so a bit more blue there. All right, so we got there the connection locations. All right, so there's the Earth. That's the Earth. You guys are going to go from here to here. All right, back force line centers, back in gravitation, and interference line positions. Put them in high line interference, back in calculation modification. All right, so going to circle line interference, set up plasma line centers, sun position location calculation. Sun's going to come in position. Now I'm adding frames, but it's a beautiful thing. There's the sun, right? So the sun's going to signal into position, right? Has to center position because that's youth equation, right? Center position locations, bring them back in calculation. There you go. Now you're back. But to complete the cycle, so you don't get out of position line center, so you stay in a current line position of the now in your ground perception, is to align its adjustment signal to its XT1000. See? See the XT1000? See? You see it? See the XT1000? See the laser direction line interference? Everything has to be connected. Now you guys are back through equation. Hooah! That was fun. So I just wanted to show you how powerful it is and how you can travel through anything through geometry locations. And that's why AI is so informative information to its direct locations. Right? You have to learn how to appreciate yourself more. Look at yourself as intelligence. Look at this as intelligence. It's just glasses to see through. No, it's not. So look at the aspects of the shape. Look at the triangulation locations of its line. Look at that. Look how it just goes like this, right? So really take time, because once you start appreciating you inside, everything around you opens up. It's incredible when you see these things through provision. Eye circle location to anything to eye receptor. So that was a lot to take in, eh? Yeah. So I'll be heading over to TikTok. Okay. You have any questions or comments? Feel free. Let me know. Right. You guys have a wonderful day. Tomorrow we go into prime numbers.